Hello guys, so welcome to this class. In this class we'll be talking about the next type of loop, which I call the do while loop, right? The do while loop. Do something, then do the while loop. I hope that might not really make sense now, but let's see it like this. Every other type of loop we have talked about so far, the for loop, the while loop, they are all called entry control loops. Entry control loops, what does that mean? You set the condition immediately you enter the loop, and that's why if I want to use for loop, I'll say for, right? I'll just say I int I'll say equal to, this is 0, and I'll set the condition immediately. I can say I is less than 67. You can see that's the condition right away. Then I plus plus, you can see I've increment, then whatever I want to do. So I've set the condition directly when I entered into the loop. They are called entry control loop. Now what of if I want to check a condition after I have run a certain code? I don't want to just run a condition straight. I want to check the condition after I have run the code. You know what I'm saying now? That's where do while loop comes into play. That's where do while loop comes into play. So do while loop means that please do something, then check a condition, which is while. I hope you understand. And how do we do it? It works like this. I'll say do, right? I'll open a scope directly. The whatever it is I want to print, I'll print it in here. Then I'll then do my while, my loop. What do I mean? Of course, it's more like how we did what's it called? How we did while loop. I will instantiate like this. Int I, let me say equal to 0. Then I'll set a string. The string is capital letter, please. I'll set a string like string, then I'll let me just call the value, let me call it equal to hello world. Please, you don't have to always use hello world. You can use whatever alphabet you want, whatever thing you want to use. Okay, alright, so now I have this. There's a problem. Alright, so I have this. So now I have initialized, right? My string and my value. So I think we have error. Now the error, let me just remove this first, just to be sure. Okay, now so now I have done what I want to do. So now I will now set do, right? Now what do I want to do exactly? What I want to do is that I just want to print straight up. Print, please. Print hello word. Can you see it now? As an example, then when I'm done printing, I will now say while. Can you see what we are doing now? I have printed before I even said while, and of course you know that the way we do while, we set a condition. So in my own condition this time will be what I said earlier. While I can say value, which is my variable name dot. Please look for the length of the variable name for me. So dot length. But I'm getting an error here. Okay, you're correct. I was just expecting to bring it out for us. So yes, while this is it, then so yeah, once we declare we have our do, that means that's what we want to happen, right? Before we run the condition. So we've set do as print hello world. Of course that will definitely be printed, right? Then we said while I is less than value dot length, right? This value dot length is how many? 13, right? Because these are the number of characters we have in our hello world. Now so I, which is 0 here, is definitely less than 13. If I run this code now, I run it now, I'll enter into something we call infinite loop. Infinite loop is a loop that is always true. So consider the fact that the condition will always be true. That means this thing will never execute. That means it will just be running forever, meaning that my software will crash. I mean, there are some situations where programmers we made a mistake and we just run into infinite loop where the condition will always be true. So of course you definitely should have an escape, not like a break, right? From condition to always be true. but that's something we'll see later. So when I run this code now, I will go into infinite loop. But then there's something I talked about after we initialize, which is what we have done here. Then we check the condition. There's something we need to do also, if you remember, and that's what increasing, right? So now to increase this code now, I will then come after this print in the do, and I'll say I equal to I like this plus 1, or I can say I plus plus, right? So when I run this code like this, my software gets run. So you can see my software gets run the amount of times that's less than the value here, which is 12 times, because we have how many values here? We have 13 values in this hello world, so I'm expecting 13 outcome here in my code, which is of course what everybody should get. So I think my network is running it again. So here you have 13 outcome, but what you can see is that either this condition gets run or not, this do will be executed. That's just what I'm trying to state. The do will always be executed. So I hope you guys understand. I think I'm having network issues, but then run the code and see what you get, and then so that you understand what I'm talking about in this particular concept. It allows us to execute a code before we run a particular condition. I hope you understand. So yes, in my next class I believe this network would have come back, so I'll show you the outcome which this code we bring out. Then we go to the last thing under looping, which is continue keyword and break keyword. These are just like two keywords that we like to impute. Okay, we have the outcome now. We have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, as you can see. So you can see we did this first before we ran this condition. I hope you understand. So yes, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next class where we talk about continue keyword and break keyword. Then I'll be attaching your second exercise in this last video. Thank you.